Most men think a hug is just a hug, a polite gesture, a friendly hello. They walk up, they extend their arms, maybe a quick pat on the back, maybe a side hug if they're unsure. But here's the truth most don't realize. Within that brief, fleeting moment of contact lies a hidden lever for connection, a silent language that can bypass words entirely, a primal signal that speaks directly to her nervous system. This isn't about being cheesy or overstepping boundaries. It's about understanding the psychology of touch and using it to communicate confidence, safety, and subtle attraction. When executed with specific unconscious triggers, a hug becomes far more than a gesture. It transforms into a nonverbal conversation, a code that builds desire and trust faster than words ever could. Today, right here on The Stoic Heart, I'm going to reveal the 4 silent rules that can turn a simple embrace into an unforgettable imprint, moments that linger in her mind long after you've let go. The mistake almost every man makes is thinking touch is just touch. They pat, they hug, they move on. But in reality, touch is a language, one your body speaks even before your lips form a word. Her nervous system is constantly translating your pressure, your placement, your timing into subconscious signals of safety, stability, and desire. When you master this language, you communicate value and presence on a primal, subconscious level, a level that words alone can never reach. Let's break it down, starting with the anatomy of a magnetic embrace, the details that separate the average man from the unforgettable one. Secret 1. The anchoring palm. Where you place your hand is the very first statement you make without saying a word. Most men go for the upper back, maybe offer a light, friendly pat. That is the vocabulary of a friend. Or worse, someone unsure of themselves. The powerful magnetic move is to anchor your palm firmly on the lower back just above the tailbone. This isn't about being romantic for the sake of it, it's about neurological impact. That area, scientifically, is linked to a sense of stability, protection, and groundedness. When your hand rests there with calm, confident assurance, it bypasses her conscious critique. She doesn't analyze it intellectually. She feels it deep in her body. It signals masculine presence, calm strength, and reliability. It says, without a single word, that you can hold space for her, literally and figuratively, that she is safe, and that you are someone who can be trusted. Secret 2. The unwavering containment. This is where intention meets physics, psychology, and subtle energy. A hesitant, loose hug broadcasts insecurity. It feels like you're asking permission to be there, and she senses that immediately. Her body, her nervous system, picks up on the tiniest flicker of doubt. It's like a whisper that says, "I'm not sure if I belong here," and it disrupts the entire magnetic effect of the embrace. Instead, your embrace should be a confident, solid enclosure, not crushing, not stiff, but firm, consistent pressure that wraps around her like a protective frame. Imagine a space where she feels momentarily shielded from the outside world, not just lightly touched by your arms. That is what makes this secret 2 so powerful. She's not just feeling your touch, she's experiencing your presence, your calm strength, your silent assurance. Most men underestimate this, thinking a hug is fleeting and insignificant. But here's the truth. This feeling of being held securely is rare, especially in a world where people are often rushed, distracted, or unsure. When done correctly, it creates an instant sense of refuge, a moment where her body and mind can relax, where she can feel safe enough to subconsciously attach and trust. And here's a subtle tip that separates the ordinary hug from the unforgettable one. Let your body subtly mirror her stance, just enough to create a sense of harmony without losing your grounding. Don't overthink it. It's the silent rhythm of presence that counts. Her subconscious notices these millisecond details, how your arms curve, how your chest aligns with hers, the firmness of your palms against her back. These are the invisible threads that weave attraction without a single word spoken. This is also the moment where most men panic. They think, "I don't want to overstay or seem creepy." That fear is visible in your micro-expressions, your slight twitch to release too early. Instead, anchor yourself in calm confidence. Hold the embrace intentionally, with purpose, because what follows is where your hug transforms into emotional chemistry. Which brings us to secret 3, the alchemical duration. Timing is your silent chemist. A 2-second hug? That's a handshake disguised as an embrace. But something profound happens when you hold her between 5 and 7 seconds. This is the window where oxytocin, the bonding hormone, starts releasing significantly. Her nervous system begins to register comfort, trust, and subtle desire. Most men break away at 3 seconds, terrified of overstepping, leaving a fleeting, forgettable impression. But when you hold with calm, deliberate timing, you create a suspended moment. The world fades. All that exists is the shared rhythm of breath, the warmth of your presence, and the sense of safety you've created. Her subconscious begins to bookmark this moment, associating your touch with a rare, soothing, emotional high. This is the space where casual touch becomes memorable intimacy, where an ordinary hug becomes something she will unconsciously replay in her mind, a moment that lingers because it was carefully orchestrated, confident, and emotionally precise. Secret 4. The lingering signature. This is the masterstroke most men never see coming. Most think the hug ends the moment you step back, a simple release and move on. But the release is not an end. It's your final punctuation, the moment that leaves the deepest imprint. Do not abruptly disconnect. Instead, as you gently pull your torso back, let one hand glide with deliberate slowness from her back along the side of her arm, or allow a faint, purposeful brush against the nape of her neck or her hair. This isn't a grab, a sudden motion, or anything forceful. It's a whisper of touch, an intentional, fleeting signal that communicates care, trust, and subtle dominance. Why the neck? Why the hair? The neck is a vulnerable, nerve-rich area, and even the slightest respectful contact sends a message directly to her subconscious. It communicates that you are attuned, protective, and confident, and it leaves a phantom sensation that lingers long after you've walked away. She will feel that trace, and her mind will unconsciously want to revisit and replay the moment, a subtle echo of your presence. Understand this: the difference between an average man and an irresistible one isn't found in grand gestures, fancy words, or constant attention. It's found in millimeter-perfect details, the silent, invisible language of touch that speaks to her nervous system and leaves a lasting emotional imprint. You now possess the blueprint to turn an everyday gesture into a key that unlocks deeper attraction, trust, and connection. But remember, this power comes with responsibility. Use it with respect, genuine interest, and confidence, never as manipulation. If this changes how you see every future interaction, then you already understand why this knowledge is invaluable. Every hug is an opportunity to communicate presence, safety, and silent attraction. Every touch is a chance to leave a lasting memory that she carries with her. For more insights into mastering the unspoken language of attraction, human connection, and emotional intelligence, subscribe to The Stoic Heart. Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and start transforming your everyday gestures into powerful, memorable moments. Because in the end, the true art of attraction isn't in the words you say, it's in the energy you carry, the presence you embody, and the subtle, precise touches that speak directly to her heart. Before we close completely, let's pause for a moment and reflect on something most men never realize. The power of presence in attraction goes far beyond touch. The hug is a vehicle, a doorway, but your energy, your calm confidence, your intentionality, these are what make the touch unforgettable. When you step into a room, your posture, your gaze, the way you move through space, they all speak silently to her subconscious. Every gesture, even the smallest, communicates value, security, and reliability. Think about it. A simple hug becomes a memory she carries, not because of romance or theatrics, but because you held space for her. You allowed her to feel safe, noticed, and subtly desired in a way that is rare and profound. The lingering signature is just the final punctuation in a story your presence has already begun writing. She doesn't consciously analyze it. She doesn't ask why she feels this pull. Her body knows, her mind remembers, and that is true magnetic connection. Here's an interactive thought for you. Next time you hug someone, notice the small details in her response. Does her shoulders relax? Does she lean in just a fraction closer? These micro reactions are your unspoken feedback, telling you exactly what your presence is communicating. The magic isn't in forcing attraction, it's in perfecting the subtle art of connection, where every movement is intentional, every pause has meaning, and every touch is a note in an unspoken symphony. Now let's bring all four secrets together in a single memorable visualization. Imagine approaching her, calm and grounded, extending your arms with anchoring palms resting just above the tailbone, offering unwavering containment, holding her close for the alchemical duration while breathing calmly and letting her feel your presence, and finally, releasing with the lingering signature, a whisper of touch along her neck or hair that leaves her subconscious captivated and longing for more. This is the hug that becomes legendary in her mind, the kind of memory that sticks without a word being spoken. And remember, this is the Stoic heart philosophy. Connection isn't about rushing, grand gestures, or manipulative tricks. It's about mastering the unspoken, cultivating calm confidence, and embodying presence. Every interaction is a chance to communicate something deeper than words ever could. If you truly want to become the kind of man who leaves an indelible impression, start small. Practice these secrets with respect, awareness, and intentionality. Observe her reactions, refine your presence, and watch how every hug, every gesture, every glance becomes a silent language of attraction, trust, and subtle intimacy. Before we end, here's a challenge. Next time you hug someone, implement just one of these secrets consciously. Feel the difference. Notice her body's response. Imagine what happens when all four secrets combine. This is not magic, it's science, psychology, and presence working together, and it's available to anyone willing to learn the art of silent connection. So, hit that like button, subscribe to The Stoic Heart, and comment below if you want more advanced body language insights, attraction psychology, and ways to communicate deep connection without words. Trust me, once you understand the subtle power of touch and presence, your relationships, and the way people respond to you will never feel the same again. Let's take a moment to understand why these secrets work so profoundly. You see, attraction isn't just about looks, status, or charm. It's about how you make her feel on a subconscious level. Every nervous system is scanning for subtle cues of safety, strength, and presence, and a well-executed hug communicates all three without a single word. Most men completely miss this because they focus only on what they can see and hear, forgetting that what she feels in her body speaks louder than anything she hears in her mind. Here's a truth that's rarely talked about. The most memorable moments in relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, are rarely spoken, they are felt. The hug is a perfect microcosm of this truth. When done right, it's a gesture that imprints on her nervous system, creating subtle trust, comfort, and even desire. And the fascinating part? She may not even realize why she remembers it. She just knows that being near you feels different, grounding, and quietly magnetic. Now, let's make this practical. Imagine approaching her, not with the pressure of "I need her to like me," but with calm awareness, grounded presence, and intention. You offer the hug. Your palm anchors just above the tailbone. Your arms wrap with solid, unwavering containment. You hold her close for the alchemical window of 5 to 7 seconds, and you finish with the lingering signature, a gentle, deliberate touch along the neck or hair. That is not manipulation. That is mastery of the unspoken language of connection, a skill that communicates, "I see you, you are safe, and this moment matters." She feels it instantly, deep in her body, long before her mind can analyze it. And here's the final layer that separates men who are unforgettable from men who are forgettable: your internal state. Your calm, confident energy is what makes the touch resonate. If you're anxious, hesitant, or distracted, she feels it. But when your mind is steady, your breathing slow, your intention clear, every movement speaks with magnetic clarity. This is why the Stoic heart emphasizes not just technique, but inner presence, emotional regulation, and psychological awareness. The hug is simply the canvas. You are the painter. So here's your actionable takeaway. Next time you hug someone, do it intentionally. Notice the small things, where your hand rests, how your arms wrap, how long you hold her close, and the final lingering touch. Observe her response. Over time, this conscious practice will transform every hug into a moment of connection that feels rare, profound, and unforgettable. Remember, this isn't about grand gestures or superficial tricks. It's about microscopic details, subtle presence, and emotional precision. Every step, from the anchoring palm to the lingering signature, is a brushstroke in an invisible masterpiece. And when combined, they create a hug that resonates on a primal, subconscious level. If this insight has shifted the way you view touch, connection, and presence, then you already know the potential. Hit that like button, subscribe to The Stoic Heart, and comment below with your thoughts. Imagine applying these 4 secrets consistently. The way you connect, attract, and leave an impression will never feel the same again. This is more than a video. It's a manual for subtle mastery, a key to understanding the unspoken, invisible forces that shape human connection and attraction. And once you understand it, once you practice it, you step into a new level of presence, confidence, and magnetic appeal that words alone could never achieve. Before we close, let's reflect on what you now hold in your hands. A complete blueprint to elevate a simple hug into a magnetic, unforgettable moment. This isn't about shallow attraction, flashy techniques, or manipulation. It's about presence, intention, and the subtle art of connection. Every step we discussed, the anchoring palm, unwavering containment, alchemical duration, and lingering signature, works together like a symphony, communicating trust, confidence, and subconscious appeal. Here's the truth most men overlook. Attraction is built in milliseconds and felt in the body, not argued over with words. Your hug can speak volumes without you saying a single thing. It's the subtle, psychologically precise details that separate a man who is merely noticed from a man who is remembered, desired, and admired. And it all starts with you. Your internal state, calm confidence, and presence are what allow these secrets to work. A hesitant or distracted man can never create this effect, no matter how precise the technique. But when you align your energy with intentional touch, every embrace becomes a miniature masterclass in attraction, comfort, and magnetic presence. So here's the challenge I leave you with. Next time you hug someone, implement these secrets consciously and respectfully. Notice how she reacts, how her body responds, how the atmosphere shifts. Observe the microfeedback your presence provides and refine your approach. Over time, you will see that each interaction, each hug, becomes a powerful signal of your value, calmness, and subtle dominance, without a single word spoken. This is more than technique. This is the Stoic Heart approach to human connection. It's about mastering the unspoken, cultivating calm authority, and creating moments of deep emotional resonance that linger in memory. You are no longer just a participant in interactions. You become a magnet, a safe harbor, and a subtle architect of attraction. If this video has opened your eyes to the hidden power of touch and presence, then here's what you do next. Hit that like button, subscribe to The Stoic Heart, and comment below your thoughts or experiences. Every gesture, every hug, every moment of conscious presence is a chance to leave a lasting imprint. Remember this, the world is full of ordinary touches, empty embraces, and forgotten moments. But you now know the secret blueprint. You know how to turn something as simple as a hug into a moment she will feel, remember, and subconsciously return to. Master this, embody it, and watch how your connections, relationships, and presence transform in ways most men could never imagine. This is your final reminder. Presence over performance, intention over impulsiveness, and subtle mastery over brute effort. That is the essence of the Stoic Heart, and that is how you create magnetic, unforgettable moments, one conscious, intentional hug at a time.